Simplified Chaos, episode 179.
Life is beautiful and full of chaos.
And it can get slightly out of hand if that shit's not tamed.
We're here to share how to simplify the little things to help you lead a more intentional life.
This is Simplified Chaos.
Hey everybody, welcome to Simplify Chaos. This is Jillian, and I'm with co-host, husband, Nicholas Kasilniak, everybody.
What's going on, folks? We hope you all are having an amazing week. We've got another great episode here for you today. Jilly, what are we going to chat about?
I'm not quite sure what we're going to title this, but we're kind of taking a little break from the series and just doing a little weekend, sharing a little weekend bliss with you guys, because I think there's a lot of reflection and just good stuff happening.
Good value came out of this weekend, and we hope to at least pass that along to you all. So before we dive into that and kind of dive into what we got into, I'd love to show a little gratitude. So Jilly, what you grateful for this week?
I am really, really grateful for a lot of things, but lately, especially this past weekend, I've been really grateful for just this season. I love fall. It's my favorite season. But I have just been enamored and in awe and just paying attention more to just the trees and the acorns. And I guess when we went to visit some family, they have these just giant oak trees and
massive, and
there's cars underneath of them. And when the acorns hit, they just make this really loud sound. And it's just so fun just to go outside and listen to the acorns hit the pavement or hit the cars. And just to see when the wind blows, how like all of the leaves are just falling and each of them fall. I know this sounds probably really cheesy, but just watching how even if the leaves are falling from the same tree, they each have their own motion and way of falling and coming down. And it's seriously so blissful and mesmerizing. I could just sit outside and watch it for like hours and hours with a warm, cozy beverage as well. But yeah, and I've just been like enamored by the fall season. And I don't know if it's always just this so blissful and I'm just finally now really slowing down and paying attention to it, but it's just been really healing, especially when, you know, throughout life's struggle or chaos or whatever comes your way that may be difficult. It's like just stepping outside and just being enamored by nature is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that's my Hallmark card gratitude for today.
Nice.
What about you?
Mine's a little naturey in flavor, but yeah, I'm grateful for this fishing trip that I tend to go on a couple times a year, and that happened this weekend as well. It was one of the many great things that happened this past weekend, but just the fact that I've got some really great friends that we do this charter trip, and now we're kind of doing it 3 times a year. We do one in May where we go trophy rock fishing. We do another one in September where we go cobia fishing. And then we just recently got finished this past weekend doing rock fishing. So it was just a lot of fun. It's great to be out on the bay, on the water. Now it was foggy as hell the entire time that we were out there, but it still didn't stop us from having a good time and catching a dozen rockfish. So just grateful to have this group of friends and to be able to do this as often as we can and enjoy the fruits of our labor, because we just had some of that rockfish this evening and it was damn good.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing like a fresh caught fish.
We've never slow cooked fish before, so we put the oven on 325 and just slow cooked the rockfish with just like big hunkfuls of butter on top.
Yep.
Some fresh lemon, some fresh garlic, and some sea salt. And slow cooked it for about 40 minutes, and it was just so moist and delicious. And Lucille even wanted some, so it was just a really great meal to just slowly devour and just think, hey, Nick hunted this fish, you know.
I just reeled it in.
But still, it's got to be really cool to like be a part of, like, you know, food to mouth, you know, part of that journey. You know, we don't technically hunt right now. I mean, I'm sure I know you've always wanted to try hunting, like
Well, that's been a recent phenomenon, but yes, I definitely want to do it.
yeah, I know. And so it's cool to be able to, just you get the food and bring it back to the house and eat it. I feel like ancestral in a way.
It is a very cool thing to be able to see where the food came from and then watch it go through the process of going from a fish to fillets to baking in, whether it's on our grill or in the oven, and then to consuming it. Like you know exactly where your food came from. You got to see it from start to finish. It's actually, every person should go through that process, whether it's with fish, an animal, cow, pig, whatever, which is kind of alluding to what we did this weekend. But yeah, like it's an awesome process and just makes you appreciate nature and food and where we are on the food chain, that much more. But my goodness, that was delicious.
It was. So thank you for that, Nick.
My pleasure. All right, Jilly, we had an action-packed weekend and we feel like there's a lot of good takeaways that we wanted to share with you all today. What did we do?
Well, it's interesting. So we had your fishing trip, which called us to Maryland because it was in Maryland, but also it just so happened you found this amazing event kind of spontaneously. You were like searching a hashtag for meetups, and then you found
MEAT.
Yes, MEAT. And you found that they were having one in Denton, Maryland, which is actually where we have family that live there now. Sorry, not in Denton.
Chestertown.
In Chestertown, sorry. They live in Denton, but Chestertown is like a little historic town. And we were geeking out a bit because one of our books that we've been consuming a lot, like on and off and looking at recipes, and it's been very valuable for us in this like food and nourishment journey, is Dr. Bill Schindler, and he was the host of it. And we got to see like his workshop where he sells the food that he talks about, because he is an anthropologist and we've talked about him before in previous episodes, but he also provides this amazing workspace where he teaches the community on how to do all of these ancestral ways of preparing food, like fermentation, making sourdough, and
real way.
And we happened to go to a class that he was showing us how to butcher, and he had a half a pig on there and was like, the way he just talks about it, it brings a sense of calm and ease and just tranquility to the whole experience. I know I'm kind of, it was always weird for me, to like see an animal and think about like cutting it open, but he has this way of, showing the animal respect and then showing like the beautiful relationship that we have with nature and how it all works. And I don't want to go too deep into like sharing what I think about it, but
right.
We just had a lot of really good fun, and then family was intertwined in it too, and we had some alone time, and we got to stroll the historic town, and we got to try some really delicious meals that he prepared, and it was just damn blissful, man.
And not to mention the weather was just amazing. It was in the mid 70s. It was a little breezy, but I mean, you couldn't ask for a better day. Sunny, breezy, high 75. So it was awesome. But yeah, I mean, it really got us to thinking, is like, what do we want to talk about this weekend? And, not only was, Dr. Bill Schindler there, but there was Sally Norton. We learned a lot about oxalates, which was very eye-opening for us. There was a couple other doctors, Dr. Gary Schiffler, Stephen Halsey or something? Husey.
Maybe.
Coach Bronson. So there was just a lot of people that it was unexpected to be there. And, it really stemmed from, me looking at meetups and seeing all this always happening in Austin. Like Austin seems to be the hotbed right now, Austin, Texas. And so I was like, well, let me just see if they're doing this in Virginia. And we came across this and like, we're doing this. But I say all that to say is we really are investing in ourselves and investing in things that we value. And I think that that's really kind of one of the main themes that we wanted to hit on today, is that, when you really start doing the work and you start thinking more intentionally and understanding like where you are at the season in life, and we're in this incredible journey right now, and we probably talk a lot about food and nutrition a lot lately because that's just where we are right now. And that's why we're talking about it. But, for us, it's like, yeah, we found this meetup group, and the cost I think was like $70 per ticket. And it was basically a no brainer at that point. Like we're both so aligned on where we're at right now. And it's just like, yes, let's invest in this. Let's, learn how to butcher a pig. Like it was freaking awesome. But like, yeah, I mean, that's where we're seeking out things like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not just coming to us, but like we're actively looking to invest in ourselves and invest to get better. And like these kinds of things pop up, and you get to meet a lot of like-minded people. You get to meet people that I consider to be, heroes as far as like what they're putting out there. And it was just a surreal experience.
Yeah. We learned a lot of great lessons during the experience, not just obviously how to butcher a pig and, what that looks like hands-on. Got to see him just talk about all the parts of the pig and like how to do it, and just how good it is for the environment and for us to be able to like, and cheaper too. Like it makes sense. Like it's and all this stuff I'm realizing, everything we're learning, it's just really simple, but we've complicated it all.
Way complicated, yeah.
And that's just the world today. It's just very complex, and there's a lot of gray and I'm not saying that life is black and white, but I think things are a lot more simpler than we think. But we're kind of like, right now, I feel like Nick and I are in this stage of just like digging this giant hole and like trying to find like the core thing to everything. We're like, it's really easy. It's just like all the shit's in the way. And we're kind of like diving back deep into like a lot of things that maybe like our great grandparents did. And it was pretty simple. Like they lived really simple lives. And I mean, I think they were happy. I mean, I wish I could have a conversation like to see what life was like then, but the world's just so different now. And I think we're just trying to like uncomplicate it by learning how to find joy in the simple things again. And right now it's like finding joy in putting food in our bodies in the best way we know how, and so that we feel good. Sally Norton, if you guys have never heard of her,
amazing.
She's on Instagram too. She's putting out all this amazing information about oxalates. And if you have not heard about oxalates, it starts with an O, by the way. It is like mind-blowing to me to learn about this. This is not something that's really talked about. I am currently going through a process of what they call oxalate dumping now that I'm
finally figured it out after this weekend.
It's really weird how all these things align. I've been going through like some digestive issues and really trying to educate myself and take my time and know like something's happening. I know my diet's changed slightly. I know my body is going through a transformation, and I know it's probably going to take a while, because if you've been eating a certain way for a decade plus, like
or
your body's
30 years,
your body's definitely going to be going through some changes if you are pivoting and changing things. And maybe I pivoted too quick and I should have done a little bit less, but I'm learning a lot about myself and the process that I'm going through. And Sally definitely shines some light and some empowerment on like what's happening. And it's different for everyone. That's the thing. There's so much nuance to this as well. And with everything in life, it's like just trying to focus on me and my unique journey and educate myself as well, as much as I can. And then share like what I'm learning if anyone else, is going through a similar thing. But definitely check out oxalates. That's probably for another topic, another podcast. Find Sally and listen to her talk about it, because she's a gem of a resource about it and can shed so much education on that topic. But like going there, so not only like educating ourselves, learning how to like butcher a pig if I mean, we're going down that path. We want to get half a pig and we want to learn how to do that. And even if we never physically do it in our home, it was so rad to know like I can do this and I've seen it done. And
it's a lot easier than you think. And it's not as messy as you think either.
Yes, there's so many myths about a lot of that I didn't know. I was never brought up on a farm. I don't know any of those practices. So I think diving into something that you know nothing about just is really fucking awesome and fun. But as well with that, it was like, I don't really consider myself an extrovert. So when I go to those kinds of things, it's nice to like push me a little bit over the line out of my comfort zone to just like be kind of extroverty and like start conversations and connect with people and hear other people's stories. And that to me is like so fun when we're able to do that and, you know, push at least for me, I think Nick's really, I feel like you're pretty good at it and like it comes easy to you. But for me, it's like, I definitely have to like, all right, Jill, you can do this. You can like say something to the couple behind you and like start a conversation. Like I have to give myself like a pep talk before I do things like that. But when it's done, I'm like, that wasn't so bad. Like it makes me want to do more of those things.
See, especially, I don't know that you even have those pep talks because I feel like you just blurt stuff out and like, oh, there she goes.
I do sometimes. I have to like think about like, I don't know. I do it less, I think, judging myself. Like, what am I going to think? What are they going to think about me if I say that? It's kind of like I own my weirdness, but it's just the initiation of just like saying it. Like that's the part that the hump I have to get over. So it's good for me to like be in those situations and just kind of like, especially when other people are really quiet. Like I'm used to people like throwing the first rock and like starting something. But when I have to do it, I'm like, all right, what am I going to say to start it? You know, like when's the right time? Like I probably overanalyze it way too much, but there's a lot of things wrapped up in that event. I mean, even then just the stroll beforehand, it was like, we just got to like walk, just you and I, around the town before the event even started and to try their sourdough and ham and cheese sandwich. Like just so much goodness wrapped in this one event that it was just amazing.
Yeah. And then to add on top of that is we got to go see my brother and sister-in-law and, you know, check out their new house in Denton. And they got a full day with Lucille, which was awesome. I know that, you know, they don't get to see her as much and it's just great to be able to say, hey, you know, you guys up for this. And it's not that they didn't have things going on either. Like my sister-in-law had a baby shower and then a birthday party. So Lucille got, you know, to go to the baby shower and meet some older kids there. And then there were some older kids at the birthday party and they all played, you know, just amazingly well with her. So like it was a win for Lucille as well. She got to, you know, hang out with them and I got to see my brother and sister-in-law and check out their house. And, you know, it's actually kind of awesome to see like Lucille like being sad when we're like leaving, just because I know that means that she's making, you know, good connections with my brother and sister-in-law. So
she's sad or happy when we leave?
Well, no, she was sad. Did I say happy? I thought
no,
I
you said sad, but she didn't seem that sad when we left.
Well, I mean, you know, she kept on saying I'm sad or, you know.
She didn't say it to me. She was like, have a good time. And I'm like, oh, okay.
No,
cool.
When we were leaving their house this morning.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like when we were leaving.
No, not us.
Oh.
No, when we were leaving their house this morning, she was sad because, you know, she wanted to hang out with them more.
Yeah, I mean, she's a social butterfly. So giving her those opportunities just to like go to parties and hang out. And she loves hanging out with older kids. So that was like one of her favorite parts was just hanging out with like Amy's nieces, I'm sure. And yes, family support is everything. I always say that support is everything. To be able, and I kind of like had this reflection about like, I think it takes work to like craft your life around your values. It's not something that just happens. Like there's definitely moments of serendipity and just how things align, but it takes a lot of fucking work to get there and for things just to fall into place. So it's so great that, and I just makes me want to continue like this, just working hard on curating and crafting the life around our values and finding the fun and seeking it out and planning it and scheduling it and then like communicating it to others.
Right.
Because I think sometimes we might feel guilty, like, you know, I think it may be, I don't know if it's just a mom thing or, you know, a female thing, but when you have kids, it's like, you're almost afraid to have too much fun. Like that's selfish of me. Like I shouldn't be doing that. I should be doing A, B, and C with my whole family or with my child. But it feels so good to like communicate and find fun for yourself, for your partnership, even if it does include your child or not. And then to like spread that out and to like ask for help and support, because I feel like so many people are willing to help you and want to help you. But the hardest part is just opening your mouth and asking for it.
Right.
And it's just been amazing just to see how our family is just like so open to that, like going to my mom's house and spending the night there anytime we need to go to Maryland. Like even if I need to walk, do you mind watching Lucille? That's the hardest part, I think, is just asking for help. Mm-hmm. And I think that's part of this journey as well. Like seeking our fun, scheduling it, being intentional about it, and then asking for help and not feeling guilty for it. That's been like a game changer, I think, for all of the experiences we've been able to have, because we couldn't have done it without it.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. And like you said, we're just lucky to have that, and we want to spread that. We want to spread that. Asking, because we could also ask neighbors and stuff like that. We've curated great relationships, and case in point, like we're going out tomorrow night, and you asked our neighbor if they could watch Lucille, and it's like turns out that they needed us to watch their son earlier in the day. So I mean, exchanging of services, like we're just finding unique ways to have time for ourselves to do those kinds of things, but also Lucille gets the advantage as well of hanging out with family or hanging out with friends and whatnot. And I think there's a lot of fear and or a lot of parents feel bad finding babysitters these days. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I just kind of feel like that's a thing.
It takes a lot of effort to find someone,
yeah.
Especially if you've moved and you're somewhere place new and you haven't made many connections. Yeah. Absolutely.
But one of the cool things that we found, and this may be helpful, is you don't always have to pay money for babysitting. We exchange services with multiple families, and we'll watch their kids and vice versa. They'll watch Lucille, and really what it does is it forces us to say, hey, it's your turn to, we force them to go out, or, they may force it. No one really has to force us to go out, but let's be honest here. But, we can force people who are like, I haven't had a date night in a year with my husband. And it's like, oh, well, we'll watch, and then, one time you can watch Lucille. So there's a lot of cool things that we've been learning, especially moving to a new area.
Yes. And something else that I wanted to mention that was so great about this weekend, and it's something so small, and I think the little things are just so valuable, but I got to wake up an hour early before Lucille, which never happens.
Yeah.
Right now, it just never happens. I always wake up with her, but homegirl was just so beat when we were staying the night at my with my mom that I woke up and I was just like, I'm ready to get up. And I got to go downstairs and start the coffee, and then my mom came downstairs. And I had alone time with my mom for an hour, and we were watching a Hallmark movie. It was the greatest thing. I get goosebumps just talking about it. That's the thing. It's those little things that just make your day so fucking special. Having that alone time with my mom, drinking coffee, just talking about life and not having any interruptions or distractions. Mm-hmm. And except for, it's not really distraction, but Christmas movies from Hallmark are just, that's the season my mom is in right now. And I love it so much. So that time with her was just invaluable, and it wouldn't have happened unless we were scheduling time to be at places and asking for help and just taking action to make it happen. So yeah, I'm just really truly grateful for what we've got going on here, and it's fun being able to spread this light to others, and just know there is chaos and struggle in the journey. And I think what we're trying to share also is finding ways to make it as fun as possible, mm-hmm. even when it seems like Lucille whining a lot on the way back, and I was just, goodness. And it was just one of those things where Nick and we could just feel our bandwidth probably of patience getting lower and lower, because I think we were both just anxious to get home, and for some reason we had to stop at Wegmans to pick up some food, but this Wegmans we didn't know, so just going on a Wegmans stresses me out, man.
Oh, and it was also super crowded, and it was. Yeah, I probably should have picked a different place, but Wegmans was on the way home. It's got the heavy whipping cream that you like.
Well, they didn't have the local cream, which was a big bummer. I had to get a different brand, but yeah, we were able
don't go
to
Shitty Kitty, so
no, we don't go to Food Lion. To each their own, but just to know, I know we try to share a lot of light and to spread hope on just living intentionally and to make life as fun as possible. We do have the challenges and all the other things. Yeah. Even if we don't bring it up as much, we can always talk about that too more, but there's definitely bumps in the road. But I think when you take the time to curate fun things in your life, those bumps or chaotic times or struggles seem a little less chaotic, because there's just
Simplified
so much
chaos.
There's just so much other good shit happening in your life because you're planning it and you're making it happen.
Yeah.
So
I think we kind of hit everything that we wanted to hit on. But yeah, I'd like to echo what Jilly said, is that yeah, we do have our struggles, but we're really here to shed light and be a beacon of light for other people who want to do these kinds of things. It is possible. There is a path you can create for yourselves, and hopefully we are helping you along the way.
Yeah, and if not, like, thanks for tuning in and just like hanging out with us.
Yeah,
Let's be friends. Message us, ask to meet up. I wish more people would like message us and say, hey, I'm going to be in your area. Can we meet up? Please do not hesitate to do that.
Yes.
I wish more people would do that. There are some people who do, but it's like, if you're at all like curious to meet us in real life, or even just to like grab coffee or like check out this area or like whatever it is, we love meeting people in real life. And that's what
IRL.
God, I hate acronyms. So if you are listening and...
Hate is a strong word, Jill.
You're right. I strongly dislike acronyms just because I cannot remember them all. Mush brain. Please do not hesitate to message us. Hopefully we're not intimidating. And obviously if you've been listening to us and you're still around, you must be resonating with us a little bit. If not, our message at least may be our humor. I don't know. But anyway, I digress.
Well, we appreciate it either way.
We do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We don't do this for the money. Clearly, we do this for...
We make $0 off this podcast, folks.
But we gain a lot of understanding of each other, right?
Yeah. I agree. All right. Well, do we have any resources for our listeners today here, Jilly?
I don't think so.
Eat like a human. Grab that
we
book.
can always put Sally's Instagram handle.
Yeah.
And maybe like the book that we've
She's
been
got
reading.
a pre-order actually coming out, and I think everybody should definitely check it out. So we will put that in the show notes. Pre-ordering helps her get up in the ranks in the Amazon when it actually does come out. And I think it's December 27th when her book comes out. But eye-opening conversation we had with her, at least discussion, and I think it's something that everybody should check out. So
yeah, the oxalate lady.
Yes.
That's just how I identify her now. And she's kind of quirky. I really liked her.
Yeah, she was awesome.
She wasn't afraid to cuss either. I'm like,
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's cool.
Just drop the bullshit. Yeah, so we'll throw some stuff in the show notes there. Jilly, do you have a quote of the day?
I do.
All right, get it.
The quote of the day is, work to live fully.
I like that. I'm going to go do that tomorrow.
Are you?
I work tomorrow.
I'm not that kind of work.
I know. I'm teasing.
The juicy, life-fulfilling value work. Like, work on that to live the life that you want to lead.
Perfect. Love it. All right. And the Take Action Challenge is?
I think the take action is just to keep dedicating your time and energy just to craft your own story and to craft the life you want. I think you're never, ever going to regret that.
Deep. Like it.
Jeez. Deep dish.
That's right. All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you like this episode, please do us a favor and help us spread the message. You can do this by writing a review or simply by sharing this episode with a friend. And remember, sharing sparks a conversation, conversation leads to action, and action is how we're able to live a happy and intentional as hell lifestyle. We want to thank you all for listening today, and we will see you again next week.
See y'all later.